this is actually two parts. One part is you're gonna take a tour of this place. Now, this place is two parts. One part is the support center for all the district. Our district is a charter school district called SIASG Academies, as you know. And Star International Academy happens to be the biggest school in this district. But there is 6 campuses, 5 schools that this district supports. So this is the support center to support all this district. There are offices here that support the district, like HR, human resources, where hiring teachers happen and supporting them, accounting, where they pay the bills. So you're gonna do a tour to get to know this. This is one of the privileges of student government, that you get this, what do you call it, like behind the scene tour of what happens at the district level. Typically, a superintendent's office is usually in a support center like this, but Dr. Bazzi likes to be among the students. That's why he always is working in schools. I'm not sure if this year he's in Star. Is he a Star this year, Dr. Bazzi?
Yeah, he's got an office in there. We don't see him very often.
Yeah, because he switches schools. Last year he was mostly in Star. I think this year he's mostly in Universal Academy, but he tries to be around the schools. Okay, so that's half of it. The other half is called the CTE, the Center for Technical Education, which is basically an educational center that allows you to take classes for hands-on careers at the same time you're taking high school. And this is very special because most schools don't have that, but you have it here. So it's few programs like robotics. You see around you, these are 3D printers. Robotics program, they learn coding here, and CAD, which is like graphic design, and different things. And then there is broadcasting journalism, and there is the CNA, the certified nurse program. Anyone here already takes classes at the CTE? I know it's for high school. Okay. And Mr. President, do you have classes here? Not anymore. You had last year? Okay. Yes. And also, what else? There's also culinary arts. Do you know what a culinary art is? Cooking, yeah. So we're gonna do a tour for that. 2000, no, way before that. I think 17 maybe, or 18, where the superintendent invited, what was at that time, the ULA student government was the first year for ULA student government. There were like 5 members, and they were invited for lunch by the superintendent. And it was great because it was an opportunity for to celebrate their leadership and to have one-on-one with the superintendent. And then they said, okay, let's do it for all student governments every year. And this became a tradition. So this is an invitation by the superintendent to Star International Academy student government and thanking them for their leadership. So it is an invitation for lunch by the superintendent, Dr. Ali Bazzi, who was supposed to be here. Hopefully he'll get here on time, because today is there's a lot of Arabic Day celebrations, so they're all over the place. But he should make it here by the time for lunch, which is in about an hour from now. We will. By the way, my name is Mr. Sharafuddin. I am the Family Engagement Community Liaison for the district, and I help the mentors of student government. Your mentors, I help them with student government stuff. I started with student government back on the days like 2008. Student government's power comes from the students, which means that it's a group of students that want to have a representation for their voice. So they come together and they create an organization, and they use voting to have representation of the students. Now, the student government is adopted by the school. The school, Star International Academy, welcomes you and works with you and assigns you mentors and gives you a classroom to utilize. And it works with you. So you are in alliance, you work with the administration. But you don't get your power from administration. You get your power from your own self, which means that if Star International tomorrow says, there is no student government, there's no more student government, we're not having any student clubs, we're canceling all student clubs, including student government. Does it mean that you don't have a student government? It doesn't mean that. You can still have a student government and meet outside the school. It's not something that it gets its power from the school. It's something that gets its power from you guys. And this is important because you're learning that in a democracy. This is the whole point of student government, is for you to learn where power comes from. What's the first word of the Constitution? We. It comes from we. And that was a very important point in history when that was written. In what year, do you know?
1776.
Yeah, I don't want to make this feel like a class, but but correct. So, well, that was the Declaration of Independence, but you know, it's symbolically it is, yes. So it shifted the power from the king to the people, and that is the whole point of governance and citizenship in the United States, that teaches you that the power at the end ultimately comes to people. Now, is that challenged sometimes? Yeah, all the time. So it's important for you to understand your constitution and to understand how to implement it. Student government is a grounds for that learning, to learn where the power comes. It comes from you, from your representation. So, but how do you organize? Like, let's look at this. It's a large body. How do you organize it? How does Mr. Hernandez, Mr. Dina run your meeting? Exactly. And there is a procedure to run the meeting, so everyone is given an opportunity to speak. Now, you might not know the name of these rules, but they're called Robert's Rules of Order. And these are the rules that they use to organize your meetings. It's a guy called Robert who created these rules about 150 years ago, and they were perfect rules to make a democracy, to make a meeting. So what's the point of it? The point of it is that you're in a meeting, you're comfortable, you're heard, and you participate in making the decision. So it's not only if you're loud or if if your opinion is popular, you get to make it, and if not, then you get overpowered and you don't get to make it. So these rules make sure that everyone gets the chance. For example, if there is a motion, we state the motion very clearly so everyone knows what they're voting on. And then there's a debate. It's open, the floor opens for debate or discussion, and everyone gets a chance to speak equally. And nobody gets a chance to speak a second time unless everyone was given a chance to speak first the first time. So everyone is given equal chance to voice, and when everyone speaks their mind and everyone addresses the chairman, nobody addresses each other, because it's not a debate between, even though it's a debate, but you're talking to the chairman, everyone is listening, so it's nothing personal. Everyone represents their class. Like, what's your position? Of 10th grade. So in the meeting, you are called as 10A representative, or 10th grade representative. So and the chairman is called the chairman. The chairman, by your constitution, is assigned as the president. He presides over the meeting. He just chairs the meeting. He doesn't have a vote. By the way, president and vice president don't have a vote in the legislative assembly, but they preside over the meeting and they organize the meeting, and he can assign it to someone else. If you go to University of Michigan and you join student government, they actually have a position for the person who chairs the meeting called Speaker of the House. And that person, that's the only thing they do. And they have then also an assistant. But in your case, the president presides, or if he assigns someone else to preside over the meeting. So did you get a copy? Who's your parliamentarian? So this is recommended for each person to read, and it's required for one person to read, which is the parliamentarian. Because if you have what's called parliamentary inquiry, then it goes to the parliamentarian to answer. What is the gavel? You always see the gavel as a sign. The gavel came from the Robert's Rules of Order. So the gavel is a kind of a symbol of something important. It's only used in two ways. It's either one or it's either several. Now, when is the one used and when is the several used? The several is used if there is something that is disrupting the meeting. Then it is like a warning from the chair. When he knocks it several times, is issuing a warning, which means that if he has to warn the same person again, it's clear that he warned him the first time, then he has the right to ask him to be escorted out, for him to leave the meeting, because he's disrupting the democratic process. And the second way it's used is one hit, and that is when you start the meeting, it indicates that the meeting now has started. And every time there is a motion that either passes or is rejected. Because once the vote is taken and the motion passes, and this is hit, it's done. The motion is done. We cannot talk about it anymore. If you need to bring back a motion that has been voted on back to discussion, it needs 2/3 vote. You have to put a motion to bring it back for discussion. It needs 2/3 vote, and it's a whole new motion. So it's just an indication that we're done from that, and it goes to the next one. Just for you to understand the symbolism behind it. It's a very clear symbol, because if he hits it, the motion is done. Or مثلا the meeting is adjourned at the end, which is also a motion. Meeting adjourned means the meeting is over. Nothing happens after the meeting. Anything said after that gavel is unofficial. Okay. طبعا it's different. It's used a little bit different by judges, but it's the same concept. And by the way, Robert Rules of Order is used everywhere. That's a nice thing. You're getting practice right now. If you go to college, you join student government, they use the same thing. That's more experience in governance than most of the people who are running for city council when you run for elections. So once you're 18, you're open to run and represent yourself. Okay, Congress, they use the same rules. They have their addition of it, like they edit it a little bit, but it's the same concept. I'm gonna show you last video, we'll start the tour. These are made with the assistance of AI, Notebook, LM, it's a Google software. Great for flashcards, for presentations, for creating videos like this. Something that used to take a month to create, now it takes 5 minutes. All right, so before we start the tour, there are 4 types of motions. There are 4 types of motion. There is the main motion, which is I move to. Is there a second? Second means there is another person who thinks that we should discuss this. Doesn't mean necessarily that they agree with it, but they actually just want it to be discussed. Because if no one wants it to be discussed, why waste time? So no discussion. If there's no one wants to discuss it, it just dies there. But if there is a second, it moves forward and the floor is open for discussion. Now, within that motion, it was not specific, so someone can move. So then that amendment is called a secondary motion, subsidiary motions, and then it gets voted on, and then it changes the motion, and then we go back and we discuss the main motion. There is ones called privilege motions. Privilege motions are like urgent matters. Bless you. All right, let's move on so we're not crunched with time. I'll leave it to the president to divide the students in 2 groups. Go ahead and let me get your tour guide.
And that's what we do here at the Nest. We learn how to safely use all the tools and put everything from our brain into the computer and then ultimately onto a robot that we build from scratch. We code and we wire and do a whole bunch of stuff to make a really fun and exciting machine to hopefully lead us to even more victories.
And then, like she said, at the end of the 2 years, you guys will take a state test. There's 2 parts to it. There's a skills portion where someone from the state will come in and test your skills. And then there's also a written portion. And once you guys pass that, if and when you guys pass that, you will get your certification to be a certified nursing assistant. And you can work anywhere that nursing assistants work, right? So there's nursing homes. I actually did a high school program. I went to public school. And I did a Michael Berry, and I did the medical assisting there, and that's when I decided I wanted to be a nurse. So then I, shortly after, right after high school, went into nursing and became a nurse. I was a nurse at like 22. So it really helped me like solidify my decision and then go on and do what I wanted to do. So it's really good opportunities.
From 4:30 to 6:30, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you want to listen to all our best work from this semester, you can tune in. We have the QR code over there if you want to scan it and tune into Live 365, which is where we have our radio station. What we do here is we learn about how to create scripts, how to create recordings, how to collaborate, how to come up with ideas, and we also in the process learn about the media itself, how the news works, how movies work, how interesting stories work. And we try to learn and have fun at the same time. So that's the idea We have some the tools as you can see here, microphones, and we have our recording studio back there, our control room. Usually we have one student who operates from the back, and everybody else, sits and works on their projects.
You're meeting with Dr. Bezzi, then pizza waiting, okay? The accounting department, you wanna come this way? The funds to run the school, the department that makes sure, because guess what? Even in the school, we have to pay bills. They make sure we do that. And then
I've been with Hamada Educational Services since 2013. I'm a talent acquisition manager, meaning I go out seeking talent. We acquire talent. We visit different campuses, different job fairs. We travel around trying to see who wants to be a part of our organization. So starting from the application process, through the interviews, through the hiring, extending offers out. That's pretty much what I do. Alongside with me works Yusuf Saab, who's not currently available to speak with you guys right now, but together, we go out. So basically everyone that you see at the school working, they've met with either myself or Mr. Saab.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. First of all, I'd like to apologize. I didn't realize you were going to be here today, and so I kind of dressed up for the occasion. I'm Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. It's like the song, so apologize about that. My name is Stacy. I am the payroll specialist here. I've only been here for about 6 months. I'm having the time of my life. So I am the one that pays your teachers. So the teachers earn their salary with teaching you, and I have the position of being able to pay them. So Mohammed and Yusuf probably say that they have the best job here because they get to hire people. I have the best job because I get to pay them, right?
Of everybody who wants to volunteer in the school or maybe who wants to be contracted. So I make sure they are cleared and they work, so they are safe to work around you guys.
And what we are essentially responsible for is all your teachers' credentials, making sure they hold the right credentials to teach you and continue to teach you.
Obviously, you took a tour here. What were your thought processes about the tour?
I like everything, but I prefer either robotics or color crayons.
Okay, awesome. How many knew this existed?
Me.
Oh, so everybody kind of knew what was going on. Awesome.
Most of them, this is the first time here.
First time, yeah, physically here, because usually it's just high schoolers that are here reviewing everything. So, student government, right? A critical role that you play in the school. Believe it or not, some of the things that you see here today did not exist. Where it came from was student government. In particular was culinary arts. There was, I think he was a junior, yes, that said, hey, well, what about this? And it sparked an idea. If that many people are interested, why not? Within a year, that cafeteria was built, or that kitchen was built. It all came from student government, right? They saw a need, they brought it to the attention that the people, right, from your student government leads to administration, we ran with the idea, and you saw the culinary arts, right? Top of the line, stainless steel appliances. They're now going to be integrated into the school store potentially. They host events, they create, all student-led. So your role as student government is to go into those schools, in your school, get the feedback of your colleagues, and bring the idea to the table. Right? How do we make things better? And from time to time, they might be heated discussions, but that's part of government. I mean, look at what's happening in government today. When do they ever agree? The worst part about it is that we all suffer. But in your role, going to your colleagues, having those discussions, writing them down, being organized, being an example, and bringing it to the table during your meetings. Same thing applies in my office. The idea here is that I'm not the smartest person in the room. I'm never the smartest person. But I tell you what, I surround myself with the smartest because they challenge. They're not yes people. Because you're in charge, they tell you yes. That's the last type of leadership that you want, especially in your cabinet. You want people who are going to disagree. Why? Because it allows you to see things differently. It challenges you as the leader to go out and search the answer rather than saying it because you believe it to be true. when in reality it probably isn't the case. Let's look at school closings, a perfect example. On the administration team, it's all made up of teachers. How many know Miss Quinlan? How many saw her famous video? Right? I got a few parent phone calls about the fact that the toilet's not flushing because it's filled with ice. That didn't go so well. But the whole committee, aside from myself, Mr. Sharafuddin, and a few others, is all teachers. From Monday, the conversation started about potential today. 4 a.m. today, we were all up texting each other to see whether or not we're going to have to shut down school. I didn't do it alone, right? There was opposition, of course. Teachers saying, yes, we need to. Well, prove why we need to. Provided the data, provided this. We got the meteorologist from Channel 7 on the phone. We got Wayne County Commission on the phone. You guys don't have to worry. We started salting. As soon as the rain stopped, we salted the roads. The only issue was the inner city, inner streets where they wouldn't be able to get to. But once you leave your parking lot, they were fine. So guess what? School is open. There's a difference between a boss and a leader. Correct. A boss leads like a tyrant, right? A leader empowers his or her team. And that's what you need to take away, especially those of you who want to continue in leadership.